The sky above was bruised purple, streaked with the dying embers of a tired sun. It had rained earlier, leaving behind the scent of wet earth, smoke, and despair. The streets of Enugu bustled with noise generators humming, danfo buses screeching, hawkers chanting, but for Amaka, everything was a blur. She clutched her newborn tightly to her chest as her toddler whimpered beside her. Her mother, Mama Ifioma, led them toward a broken kiosk near the edge of a busy market. That night, they had nowhere else to go. The kiosk was little more than 4 wooden panels and a rusted zinc roof. A rat scurried past as they entered. A cracked mirror hung crookedly on the back wall, and tattered posters of old Nollywood films fluttered with the breeze. It smelled of dust, urine, and forgotten dreams. "This will keep the cold out," Mama Ifioma said softly, spreading an old wrapper on the floor. Her voice carried the weight of exhaustion, but she tried to sound hopeful for Amaka's sake. Amaka didn't respond. She was too focused on her baby, who had begun to wheeze. His breath was short and rapid, and his forehead felt like fire beneath her trembling fingers. "Mummy, something is wrong," Amaka whispered. Mama Ifioma came closer and placed her hand on the baby's tiny chest. "He's burning up," she said, panic flickering in her eyes. Amaka held back a sob. "I can't lose him, Mummy. Not after everything." "You won't," her mother said firmly, although the tremor in her voice betrayed her fear. "We'll take him to the chemist in the morning. He just needs rest." But rest did not come. That night, the 3 generations of broken women and children lay side by side on the hard wooden floor, wrapped in one another's pain. Amaka rocked the baby gently, humming a lullaby she barely remembered. The toddler whimpered in his sleep, kicking and turning, and Mama Ifioma murmured prayers under her breath. Outside, the night grew cold. The wind howled through cracks in the wood, whistling like ghosts of dreams long buried. "I should have listened," Amaka whispered. "To who?" Mama Ifioma asked softly. "To myself, to that voice that told me Kunle wasn't serious, that he would leave." Mama Ifioma said nothing. She knew that pain too well. Her daughter had fallen for a smooth-talking university boy who vanished when she got pregnant the second time. No call, no support, just silence. He had called Amaka his queen when she was pregnant with their first child. He called her a mistake when she got pregnant again. That betrayal had led to this moment sleeping in a kiosk, praying for the life of a feverish child, invisible to the world. "Do you think God still sees us?" Amaka asked, tears sliding down her face. Mama Ifioma turned to her daughter, her eyes glistening in the dim light. "If he didn't, you wouldn't still be breathing. You wouldn't still have this one," she said, gently touching the toddler's forehead. "Or me. We are still here, and that means he's not done with us." The baby cried again, this time louder, a cry that pierced the darkness and echoed down the empty alleyways. Amaka tried to breastfeed, but the baby refused, his tiny body arched in discomfort. She wrapped him tighter against her skin, trying to transfer her own warmth to him. As the hours passed, Amaka watched the shadows stretch longer across the wooden floor. Her mind drifted to the days when they had a room in a compound small but safe. She remembered cooking jollof rice with her mother on Sundays, singing with her toddler as he danced around in circles, watching her baby sleep soundly beside her. Now, all of that seemed like a dream. When dawn finally broke, the light exposed everything. The swollen eyes, the parched lips, the crusted tears, the soiled wrappers, and the baby who was now frighteningly still. "Wake up, baby, please," Amaka whispered, but his chest no longer rose. The morning was cruel in its brightness. Sunlight streamed through the broken slats of the kiosk, illuminating the still form of the infant in Amaka's arms. His little fingers, once so full of life, now hung limp like the petals of a withered flower. His lips, once puckered in hungry cries, were pale and slightly parted. "No," Amaka gasped, shaking her head. "No, no, no, wake up, baby, please." She cradled him, kissed his forehead, rubbed his chest, anything to stir life back into his tiny body. "Mommy!" she screamed, her voice cracking with terror. "Mommy, do something!" Mama Ifioma rushed over, her heart pounding. She took the child gently, laying him on the wrapper and pressing her ear to his chest. Nothing. No heartbeat, no breath. Her eyes closed as pain gripped her heart. She had buried a husband. She had buried her own mother. But this, watching her daughter cradle death in her arms, this was a different kind of agony. "Amaka," she whispered. "No," Amaka shrieked, snatching the child back. "Don't say it. Don't you dare say it. He's not. He's not." But reality was a tidal wave that could not be outrun. She collapsed against the wall, rocking her baby, wailing with a sound so raw it silenced even the birds outside. "Mama, I tried," she sobbed. "I tried to protect him. I carried him every night. I begged people. I prayed. I tried." "I know, my daughter," Mama Ifioma said, pulling her into her arms. "I know." They wept together, rocking the lifeless body as if love alone could bring him back. The burial was unceremonious. A small patch of land behind a public schoolyard. Mama Ifioma dug while Amaka sat in silence, her eyes dry but hollow. The toddler slept beside her, unaware that his baby brother was being lowered into the earth. They used the only clean wrapper they had to wrap his body. Mama Ifioma placed a small wooden cross made from broken kiosk wood into the ground. No priest, no flowers, no mourners, just two broken women in the silence of a world that didn't care. That night, Amaka didn't eat. She didn't sleep. She just sat, staring out of the kiosk into the street, watching life move on without her. Children laughed as they passed by. A couple argued beside a shop. Hawkers shouted their evening sales. How could the world still turn? Her mother brought her water. She didn't drink. "Amaka," Mama Ifioma said gently, "you have another son. He needs you. And I need you too." Amaka looked up, her eyes swollen. "What if I'm cursed? What if everything I touch just dies or disappears?" "No," her mother said firmly. "You are not cursed. You are chosen." Amaka blinked. "Chosen?" "Yes. Chosen to rise from this mess. Chosen to carry pain that will one day become power. The world breaks people like us because it fears what we can become if we survive it." Her mother took her hand. "You will rise, Amaka. You will rise with fire in your bones and wisdom in your soul. You will rebuild what they tried to destroy." Amaka stared at her mother, the words slowly sinking in. That night, as the wind whispered through the cracked walls, Amaka stood up. She bathed. She braided her hair. She folded the bloodstained wrapper and placed it at the head of her son's sleeping mat like an altar. And then she whispered to the darkness, "I don't know how, but I will be great. I will make his death count. I will make the world see me." He was always there, just at the edge of the crowd, wearing the same tattered brown caftan that flapped in the wind like an old curtain, with mismatched slippers and wild dreadlocks matted from dust and time. They called him Obim the Madman. Children mocked him. Traitors shouted at him, but he never spoke back. He just stared. He stared at Amaka. The first time she noticed him, she had just returned from washing clothes at a roadside tap. Her arms ached, her wrapper was soaked, her toddler clung to her side, cranky and hungry. And there he was, standing across the street, staring. "Don't mind that one," a pepper seller said, shaking her head. "Obim know well. He just dey walk dey talk to himself. One day, dem go carry him, go yaba left." Amaka glanced again. His eyes were bloodshot, but there was something strange in them, not just madness. Something familiar, focused. She ignored him, but he didn't go away. Over the next few weeks, he kept reappearing. Near the tap, outside the kiosk, at the corner of the market where she worked, always silent, always watching. One night, as they returned to their shelter, Amaka stopped abruptly. The baby on her back had started to wheeze again. "Not now," she whispered, panic rising. Mama Ifeoma helped ease the baby down, checking his breathing. He was burning again. "Let's go to the hospital," Amaka said, tears forming. "I'll beg them to help." As they rushed toward the main road, Obim stepped into their path. "Leave us alone," Amaka barked. But Obim raised both hands slowly and whispered, "He needs cold water and palm oil. Now." "What?" Mama Ifeoma asked. "Palm oil," Obim repeated, then pointed toward a nearby kiosk. "Ask Iya Ramota." Without thinking, Amaka dashed toward the kiosk. She knew the woman. Somehow, Iya Ramota, though half asleep, responded to her plea. Within minutes, Amaka returned with the red oil and dabbed it into her son's mouth with water. He sputtered, then cried. Relief. She looked up, but Obim was gone. The next day, Amaka scanned the market. She couldn't find him. For weeks after, he appeared at random watching her, occasionally mumbling things she couldn't understand. "You gave me water, they lied, my papers, they stole everything." Amaka tried to ignore him. She had too much on her mind, hustling, surviving, grieving. But deep down, curiosity began to grow. One day, when she was sitting alone outside the collapsed building they now called home, he approached quietly. "You don't remember me," he said. Amaka froze. "What?" "You don't remember the church gate. You gave me water. You said, 'May God heal you, madman.'"